Hello dear class members, welcome back to class. So in today's tutorial, I'll show you how to make this beautiful fascinator. And guess what? I stiffened this brim and that's why it is standing firm like this. So let me show you all the details of how I made this fascinator. Okay. Alright, so this technique is very helpful if you want to create your crinoline brim and you want it to be well laid and also look neat. So you may not necessarily want to make a brim, you may just want to make a nice crinoline base. This method is also nice for you. So this is 1 yard of my crinoline right here, and I'm just going to iron this out. And you can actually prepare your stiffener. I will show you how to stiffen this, but because I'm creating a brim with this crinoline, I want to show you how to iron so that you can have a nice brim. All right, so while I'm waiting for my iron to get hot, if you like, this part is actually optional. You can take off this thread right here, because the thread here was actually made to pull the crinoline to form a gather. If you like, you can take it off. Okay, but I'm going to leave this because I'll use this thread to show you something else while I'm making this crinoline base. So I'm going to iron. Ensure that you iron your crinoline really fast, and notice how I'm trying to curve my crinoline a little. Just cut it and iron it down. Not cut, actually, I meant to say curve. Yes, you bend it a little and then you iron. So it's going to follow that pattern. So you curve it a little and then you iron. Repeat the process till you are done. If your crinoline is not curving, that means your iron is not probably hot enough. So you want to ensure that you heat your iron up, bend your crinoline. You see how I'm bending it, and then you iron it flat. So this is what I'm going to do all through. So when I'm done, I will show you how it looks like before we move on to the next stage. Now this is what I have. This looks quite different from when it was looking straight. So after this process, I'm going to stiffen, and I'm going to be mixing my stiffener in a very light liquid. So you just apply your stiffener in a small container, mix it up with water, let the stiffener be a little quantity, and then your water will be like 70%. So you mix up this stiffener very well and ensure that it does not have any lump at all. So take your time to stir this vigorously until you have a smooth paste. And when you are done, the next thing is to apply this stiffener to your crinoline. So when you're done, just take it out to dry, or you just leave it, because when it's finished drying up, it's going to be transparent and it will look just like it was before you applied stiffener. Here we have our crinoline. It is dried, and as you can see, can you see how it looks? It looks really nice, and it is harder compared to this one that is soft. You'll notice that this is firm. It's firm, really. If you can touch it right here, you understand what I mean. And this is soft. This is the original texture of the crinoline, but we have been able to harden it using the stiffener. So what am I going to do next? I'm going to fold both edges like this. Okay, You can gather this and then you tie this edge right here. You fold the other edge as well, and then you tie. These are actually basic designs that I'm teaching you. But if you want to become a pro, I would suggest that you join our Vault membership where you can learn endless designs. We have over 50 designs in that class, and these designs are not for beginners. So if you want to upgrade, if you want to make designs that you can charge premium prices for, I suggest that you join the vault. So you can send a message to that WhatsApp number on your screen, and then I will explain the details. You can subscribe for a month, 2 months, 3 months, 6 months, or even 12 months. It depends on how long you're willing to subscribe. And I also upload new designs to that class once every month. So let's move on. When I'm done with this one, you see what it looks like. It looks like a boat or a canoe kind of. So you have to get your needle and thread, and then you want to gather the center part. Now you can start to gather from here. If I was going to be doing this next time, I would remove the thread here. Okay. If you have not seen the video of how I made another type of base where I made the bow using the tube crinoline, and I also made another nice base using this crinoline, please go ahead and check my page. You'll see that particular video so you can have a broad knowledge of how to work with crinoline. So I'm going to pleat in and out on this edge right here just to gather all the way down. So you'll notice that when you use your crinoline ordinarily versus when you use it when it is stiffened, you will notice the difference, that the base or the brim will be stiffer, it will be stronger, and of course you can get to whatever destination it's getting to in one piece without losing shape. So I'll gather till I get to the end, and when I'm done, I will show you how it looks like before we move to the next stage. So you pull this right here, and when you pull it tightly, and then you can press this down as it is and iron it flat. So this will give you a more flatter texture compared to the one that I taught in the previous tutorial. So when you gather this, you pull together, you overlap it a little, and then you tag this down. In another video, I'm going to be showing you how to dye your crinoline into another color. I've gotten a couple of questions if it is possible for you to dye your crinoline into another shape, and yes, it is possible. Although you're going to be getting softer colors, but it is actually possible. So stay tuned for more tutorials. So if you have not subscribed at this point, I believe you don't want to miss out. These are beginner friendly designs that you can start as soon as possible. So after going in and out, ensure that you tag that part. Okay, when you tack it, make sure it's holding in place. You tie your knots just like I'm doing, and then you cut off your thread. Now this is the base. Now let's work on what we're going to be using as our embellishment so that this base is not looking plain. So I have 1 yard of crinoline right here, and I'm going to be creating crinoline loops. So you're going to fold your crinoline into three. So you fold to the left inward, fold to the right inward, and then fold on each other like this. And then you iron this. Yes, I remember people or some people mentioning something that it is only ciname that can give you loops. Now you know that you can use your crinoline to create loops as well. All you need to do is to iron it out. So when you have pressed it down this way, to make your loops thinner, you're going to apply pressure on the iron like this, and then you pull the crinoline right from underneath the iron. So you apply some pressure and then you slowly pull the crinoline this way. So it helps the crinoline to become thin under the heat. So I'm pulling slowly. So this is what we have here. Can you see how beautiful it looks? Yes, that is the crinoline loops. And now let's go to forming our loop. So this design here is one design on its own. This is something you can just make in a long crinoline. You make it with a long crinoline and then you start to create your loops like this, big or small, and then you attach it to your elastic band, to your Alice band, to your comb. Can you see? You can embellish it with feathers, trimmings, anything at all. So this is one technique. This right here is another technique. So these can make one headpiece and they can both make separate headpiece. So these can be like just embellished with flowers, feathers on its own while you attach it to the comb. And this can also be embellished or used separately all by itself. So what are we going to do next? I'm just going to use my needle and thread. Okay, let's go back. It seems like I did it in a hurry. So let me take you through the process. So how do you fold? I've forgotten that I'm talking to beginners. I just did that effortlessly. So let me rewind. Okay. So you just fold like you want to have number 8. You are the one that will determine how big or small you want your loops to be. That's totally up to you. Okay. But just keep rolling and folding. You can fold it into a flower shape if you want to. So this is good. So I'm just going to tack this down using my needle and thread just to hold it down. It's quite easy, isn't it? Yes. So if you have any comments, please feel free to comment in the comment section. I'll try my best to answer your questions. If you want to improve, you can join the vault. Just send the vault, THAVAULT, to the WhatsApp number on your screen. Okay, and then we'll take it up from there. But for now, let's go back to this tutorial. Now that I'm done tacking, I'm just going to place this in between like this. So you can place it right here, and this is what you have, and then you tack both pieces together. And the best part about using crinoline is that it does not go out of fashion and it is quite affordable. You can literally get it today and then you can start to make something like this, and then you can start to sell almost immediately. All you need to do is to practice like once or twice, and then you're good to go. So the more you work on your designs, the better you will become. It doesn't have to be perfect at first sight. So finally, how do you attach this? You can use Alice band, but I'm going to be using comb because this is really light. Okay, so the comb can also work, and I'm just going to be attaching the comb using my excuse me, using my needle and thread. So I'll take the thread across the comb like so, bring it out, pull it back this way, go inward and across just behind the comb. So just watch me. So when you're done here, you can just tie your knot at the back right here. Cut the excess thread, and the last thing to do is just to try and cover up the center part. You can use a small rose, a piece of lace patch, any trimming at all to embellish, and you're good to go. So the last thing is to cover the center part. You notice that the thread lines are showing, so you don't want that to happen. So you apply some hot glue, get any trimming at all, any feather that you like, and then you just use that to finish up neatly. So now that you're done, you're good to go. Can you see how it looks? So beautiful.